Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video you'll see a review of the Red Oak Town Set number 2 by Warcradle Scenics. Here we go, here's a big box of terrain, the Red Oak Town Set number 2 by Warcradle Scenics, and a big thank you to them for sending this out to me to review today. So here in the video I'll get it built, show you how it goes together and how the system works, and then I'll show you the whole town setup with some miniatures as well. So you're going to get your town set in this big chunky box, so it's well sealed and protected, but there's not going to come with any instructions, so just be aware of that when you get it. But they're all online and really easy to follow, so you can download the PDFs for each of the sets and each of the buildings, and then you can either put it on your computer or on an iPad or phone and then follow along doing it that way. But here we go, here's an image of all the buildings we're going to get. So that's the only paperwork that you get with the set. Right, let's get this open. I'll just be careful on this long piece here because you can sometimes scratch the surface. It's well protected with all the bubble wrap though, as you can see, but just to be on the safe side. So we'll get all this out and then we'll have a quick look at each of the different packs that are included here, and then I'll show you how it all goes together. This is pretty heavy, all MDF, but the brilliant thing about the Warcradle terrain is that it's already painted, so that's awesome. And if you've seen the video I did already for the AUGUSTA industrial set, then you'll know already that this is great quality stuff. Each building is going to come in its own pack, so you can see here we're going to get quite a lot going on. Altogether we're going to get 8 different buildings to assemble, all painted, and you can see that there's some really nice details on here as well, so everything's done for you. So once you've gone through the building process, that's it, it's ready to play straight away. And this set comes with some nice colours. You've got that red, the nice gold there, the beige and the metal grey as well, so those really work. That combination is really nice when it's all assembled. This is 8 packs all together, and one of those is going to be the gallows and the watchtower packed into the same pack. You can also buy these individually, but if you do buy it as one big Red Oak town set, then this is how it's going to come. So there we go, 8 all together, and now it's time to get one open, and I'll show you how the system works and how it goes together, and then I'll go away, build it all, and then you can see the whole set assembled on the tabletop. For this example, I'll be using the post office building, so let's get it out and we can take a look at all the different components. And so it's going to be a few different colours on this one, mostly red though, a little bit of that cream wood as well. But you can see even through this, there's some really nice detail in there. You've even got the little nails and everything going into the wood. So yeah, really nicely done. And the whole aesthetic is really great across the whole set. On some of the sheets, you can even see there, it comes out really easily. On others, you may have to just score down some of the lines with a sharp blade, so that piece just pops out really easily. And these ones come out quite easy too, but some of them won't be as smooth as that when they come out. They're also all numbered, and this is going to match up to the diagrams and the instructions that you can find on the website. And I'll show you that at the end of the video, where to go to get all that. And then you get these little pieces of scatter terrain as well. Here's a close-up look at one of the walls, so you can see some really great details, nice wood effect, but on the inside there's not going to be anything on it, so it's going to be plain on the other side. You can see here as well, you've got the wood and all that, so yeah, a little bit grain coming through, just enough to give you a good idea, and then you see all the nails and everything going into the wood. And on this sheet, the same thing, nice wood effect, and you even got little signs and everything that are fully printed up. So yeah, really nice. Those details make a big difference. So let's start putting this together. So I've got the 4 walls and the floor, and so you're going to get the little grooves that go into the little slots. So it's just lining those up, and I'm going to be using Gorilla Super Glue for this. This stuff's really strong, and yeah, it doesn't take long to set either. Another good one to use is the Loctite Super Glue in the blue tube. I find that one's really good as well. That sets a little bit quicker than this one, but I like the gel that the Gorilla Glue comes in, so it's not running all over the place. Because you've got to be careful with super glue. I'm not a huge fan of making things with it, so anything I can get that makes the job easier, I go for it. So we just pop it in, and then once it's in place, just hold it for a few seconds to set, and then I'll just stand it up on the board there. And with a little bit of pressure and a little bit of time, that's almost held in place now. So it leaves a little bit longer. So you've got to be quite patient with this and make sure it's nice and straight. And there we go, that's holding really well now. So I got the first one on, so I'll put it on its side, and now I'll run a little bead of glue all along. You don't have to cover it in glue. I find just doing it like this, little dots all the way along, is strong enough to hold it in place. And then once you know which parts to go up against the other parts, just put some extra glue on there too, and then that's going to be really solid. So once this fits in place, you've got a nice L shape, and that just fits in really well. Give it a good squeeze together, and yeah, that's good to go. So we can just work our way all the way around the building now, putting on all the walls. And this is it now. All the walls are complete, and it's time to look at how to put on the doors, and then we'll do the roof. After building this, I started to use gloves because this gets really mucky. So after a while, you're going to get really black hands. So I'd recommend using some gloves for sure. On this building, I didn't, but on all the others, I did. Because it takes a while to scrub this off. So here we go. A little bit more glue now. We're going to do the doors. So you glue the frame first. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on each end. And then we'll pop that into the top section. So this is going to be the whole door frame. And then we'll glue that frame into the building. This is probably the most fiddly part of the whole process, so once you've got these door frames done, the rest is pretty quick. There'll also be times where you've got things like these supports where you have to glue two pieces together. So again, just little dots all the way around, and then that's going to be strong enough to hold them. And that gives you like a nice chunky piece of wood then to hold the roof on with. Next, I've gone away and built the roof, and it's just a box, so following the same procedure, and then that fits inside perfectly. So that's going to give you a roof that you can remove to get access to. I popped a sign on the front. This is the post office, but you've also got another sign and things like ladders and all different scatter pieces. So you could put the doctor sign on if you want to. So if you bought two sets and wanted lots of buildings, you could do that. I've also built some little steps to go in the front. So all these little details are a really nice touch. So that's all there is to it, a nice simple build, and you do that with all the buildings and you end up with this awesome town set. I'm really happy with how this looks, came out great, definitely recommend using gloves because you are going to get really dirty. It also gives off like a smell of burnt wood, so you almost get like a campfire smell, which obviously fits in with a western theme, but yeah, you're going to just be aware of that, open a window maybe once you've finished, but it soon goes away after a few hours. This is the perfect size for your 28mm or 32mm games, and it's certainly going to fit in with loads of different ones. Originally, it's designed for the Wild West Exodus, which is Warcradle Studios' creation, so it's designed for that, but there's no reason why you can't use it with lots of other games, as I will be, and I'll be playing it with my Weekend Warriors game, and alongside the Dead Man's Hand miniatures. With so many different buildings and things like the gallows, there's loads of opportunities for different scenarios and skirmishes. You've got this old shack, the Cartwright's Iron Horse Repairs, which screams out some kind of apocalyptic zombie scene, so I can't wait to try that out. There'll definitely be some zombie action here. You've got this little building, a 2-story house, and then you've also got this house, this one story, like a cabin almost, so this could maybe even be used separately in a woods. You got the post office, which you saw during the build, and then this big model, the big bank, which you could do a bank robbery scene, which would be really fun. And then you got a watchtower, which you can take apart into 3 different parts, so you've got some options there for different platforms. And then with the clock tower as well, you're all set for a high noon showdown. I've still got to put the chimney on this building, but you can see I've built the steps, I've got the doors ready to fix, and I've done the main structure. So this has got a roof that comes off, you've got the upstairs and then the downstairs. So loads of room to play, your models can go in and out of it during the game. Also the bank, this is a really good one. You've got that nice roof on the top for a good sniping position. And then you've got the upstairs, which is a really big room. So if you're playing something along the lines of an RPG game, you've got a nice meeting room there. And then you've got some room down the back, put a safe in there, and then you can do a bank robbery or something. That'd be awesome fun. My boys set it up so you can have a look at it with some miniatures. So we put some of the Dead Man's Hand miniatures around it, and it looks great. It looks really awesome. You've got them all coming out the bank. This guy's shooting from the balcony at the top, and this lady's coming out of her house with a lamp to see what all the fuss is about, and then even a shootout on the gallows. So yeah, once you put the models, it really brings it to life, and all those details with the wood texture and everything are great. You've got some awesome sniping positions from the roofs, and it just looks so cool. Once they come running out the doors and things, it really is fun. A few things to be aware when you're building is just you are going to get a little bit mucky, so have some gloves prepared, or at least be prepared to scrub up afterwards. Get that good quality super glue, you're really going to need that. There's going to be times where you're going to need to just score along the joins just to make sure they come out cleanly, and even a little bit of tidy up just on some of the connections when you do pop them up might be needed. So a little file and certainly a sharp craft knife are really going to help you out. It can be a little bit fiddly in parts once you start doing all the cogs and the details on some of the buildings like the watchtower and the hangman's gallows, but once you take a bit of time and be patient, the best thing is once you've built it, you haven't got to paint it. So taking that extra bit of time during the build is really worth it to get those details coming through, and then yeah, you're all ready to go. As soon as it's built, you can play, and with it being super glue, it sets really fast as well. I think there's some potential to combine this with the AUGUSTA terrain set too. So if you want to have a really big setup, I mean this is on a 3-foot by 3-foot board, but if you want to go big 6x4, I think having 2 sets like this could really fill that board up and you'd have a ton of fun playing it. This is awesome. I've featured it in some battle reports already and you'll definitely be seeing it again soon. If you like the look of this terrain set, then I've done a separate video and that's up on the channel already. I'll link to it at the end of this one. I'll put a link to Warcradle Studios' website where you can check out all the different terrain sets they do. You can even get Red Oak Town #1 set, so you could double up on the Western theme. But there's loads of others there, so they cover sci-fi, fantasy, Wild West, all sorts, so great for all types of different games. I'll also put a link to Wayland Games where you can save up to 20% on all your game products, including all the Warcradle products too. So that's down in the description below. When you follow the link to the website, it'll take you to the Red Oak Town set #2, and then you can scroll down and take a look at the instructions. So really easy, go down the bottom, download the assembly guide, click on that. That's going to open up a PDF which you can download and keep, and then this is going to give you all the build instructions, and those parts are all numbered as we saw earlier on the MDF sheets. And so once you print it off or look at it on the screen, it'll give you a good clear diagram about how to put everything together. My boy and I really enjoy these terrain sets. I think it's fantastic to have all that detail, and just the size of them and the volume that they take up on the tabletop is just brilliant, and having all those different vantage points to like snipe from, go inside the buildings is great. Once you start playing zombie games and things like that with them, that's when they get really fun. But I can't wait to be using these Dead Man Hand miniatures and then get them painted up and use my Weekend Warriors rules as well. So this will be featuring a lot on the channel, so look out for it in some upcoming battle reports really soon. A big thanks again to Warcradle Scenics for sending this out, and a big thank you to you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I love sharing these terrain from different companies. I think there's so many awesome products out there, so it's really fun to be able to get these, build them up, and then share them with you here on the channel. So thanks again. Please like if you liked it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.